Welcome to KetoMealsAndRecipes.com. Today I'll be making a Mediterranean recipe that is sure to impress your family and friends because they will be treated to an extraordinarily flavorful and aromatic main course. And after I've shown you how to make the chicken marsala recipe, I will show you how I prepared the 2 cheese butter zoodles to complement and complete the dinner. As you can see, this dinner looks as if it would have been an involved and complex recipe. I assure you, this is a very easy and relatively quick recipe to make. This keto chicken marsala is one of our favorite recipes, and I'm proud to share it with you today. The macronutrient ratio for this recipe is 2.8 to 1, with 9.3 grams of total carbs, 1 gram of soluble fiber, 3.8 grams of insoluble fiber, resulting in only 4.6 grams of net carbs for the keto chicken marsala portion of the recipe. The first thing you have to do in preparing to make this recipe is to butterfly the chicken. I find it easy to butterfly when I place my flat hand over the surface of the chicken breast, then cut through the center trying to make each of the 2 fillets as even as possible. Then get a long strip of cling wrap, then place one of the fillets in the middle and fold over the cling wrap to cover. Then starting at the thickest part, gently pound at that part. What you're trying to do is to make the fillet an even thickness of about 1/4 inch. This will make frying the fillets easier and more even. Repeat for all of the chicken fillets. And when you're done pounding them, place them on a platter. Assemble all your ingredients. Having everything pre-measured and assembled makes the entire cooking process much easier. I began by putting the oat fiber onto a flat plate and then just giving the plate a little jiggle to spread out the fiber more evenly. Make sure to pat dry the filleted chicken and then sprinkle with ground pepper and salt, but don't over season at this point. If you don't want to use the oat fiber, this coating can easily be substituted with unflavored whey protein isolate or even coconut flour. However, I'd like to mention that coconut flour will change the flavor of your finished chicken marsala. Coat the fillet with the oat fiber or whatever else you may choose to use instead, and press down gently. Flip the meat and coat the other side very well. After dusting with the oat fiber, place the coated chicken fillets to the side and repeat with the rest of the pieces. By now you know the drill. Preheat your dry skillet until it's hot, and then pour the oil and add the unsalted butter or ghee. Stir until the butter is completely melted and well combined with the oil. In this recipe, I have chosen to use olive oil because it creates a more authentic flavor, but you can substitute with grapeseed or avocado oil. I'd like to mention, when you add the butter to the olive oil, it helps to improve the smoke point of olive oil. So on occasion, when I want a particular flavor, I do use olive oil. When your oil butter mixture is sizzling, lay the coated chicken fillets flat in your sizzling oil and butter mixture. Arrange so that the fillets are well spaced and not crowded. Fry for about 2 minutes on each side. You want the chicken to have a deep golden but light crust. Remove the chicken fillets from your skillet when both the sides are done. Place them on a platter and set aside for a moment. Add a second batch of butter to the same skillet you just pan fried the chicken in. When the butter is melted, toss in the finely chopped onions and grated garlic and stir. Fry for about 1 minute so the onions are just starting to become translucent. Add the lemon juice. Stir and scrape the bottom of the pan. This will remove the fond and incorporate it into the sauce. Next, add the dry version of the marsala wine. You can see my pan is very hot, and almost as soon as I added the wine, it steamed, which is indicating the volatile alcohol molecules are evaporating. Now stir for a minute or 2 so that the alcohol can completely evaporate. Then add all the cut button mushrooms to your pan. Gently spread out the mushrooms and then leave them alone for about 2 to 3 minutes to cook. This will allow the water in the mushrooms to also evaporate. Then with your spatula, turn over the mushrooms and cook the other side for a couple minutes or so. You will notice that the mushrooms have reduced in size and that most of the liquid sauce has been absorbed by the mushrooms. Toss gently and cook until both sides of the mushrooms are done to a medium brown stage. The time needed to brown your mushrooms will depend on how thickly you cut your mushrooms. It took my mushrooms about 5 minutes to brown completely. Next, Pour the chicken stock into the pan and stir well. Immediately after stirring, add the heavy cream. Stir and combine for 5 minutes to get rid of the raw cream taste and for all the flavors to combine. The last part of the chicken marsala prep is to add most of your roughly chopped Italian flat leaf parsley. Stir and cook for a couple minutes and then place the prepared chicken fillets over the sauce. Cook for 1 more minute and flip the chicken so the other side will also have about 30 seconds to absorb and be coated with the sauce. Turn your stovetop element off because now you're done cooking the chicken marsala. While still very hot, I plate the chicken on a serving platter. Scoop out and evenly distribute the mushrooms and the sauce. Make sure you scrape out all the sauce and pour it over the chicken. I can't stress enough how good this sauce is, and you won't want to waste any of it by leaving it in the pan. For presentation purposes, I take the reserved Italian flat leaf parsley and place a few leaves on top. Now, as I promised, I will show you how to make my 2 cheese pan zoodles. Start with a clean dry skillet. When the skillet is hot, add your butter. To the melted butter, I added my zoodles and cooked them over medium heat. First, I grated some fresh Parmigiano Romano cheese over the zoodles. Then I grated my full-fat mozzarella and put that on top as well. With my tongs, I simply moved the zoodles about to incorporate the cheese. I cooked the zoodles from start to finish for only 5 minutes. I want the zoodles to be a bit al dente. That means that the zoodles are cooked enough that they don't taste raw, but they do maintain their texture and shape. You definitely don't want your zoodles to be overcooked and soggy. To complete and serve the meal, I placed 1 portion of my zoodles onto a plate and placed 1 of the chicken marsala fillets on top. I scooped out and arranged about 1/4 of the mushrooms over the chicken and also scooped up some of the sauce. To finish a beautiful presentation, take a napkin or paper towel and clean any drippings or smudges on the edge of the plate. Now you can serve this flavorful, complete meal with pride. Enjoy. Thank you for watching this video. I look forward to showing you more of my recipes. But please turn on your notification bell. And I hope to see you next time. The link for the complete written recipe is available in the description below.